What is going on, Moon Gang? We have a lot to talk about. There's been some crazy action in the crypto market. In this video, we'll be doing a quick update on the Moon Gang public portfolio. We'll go over RIOT, then we'll touch on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. There's been some amazing movement. As you can see right now, RIOT, this is a look at its daily chart. Today in the post market, it actually hit $80. In the normal market trading hours, it hit $79.50. Absolutely crazy. But before we hop into that technical analysis, here's the portfolio sitting just under $19,000, up $900 today. Earlier today, I actually had 3 calls on RIOT. I sold one just to mitigate some risk, but so far these are looking pretty strong. They're up 51%. The leftover two, $75 strike. They expired the end of February, and I paid $10 per contract. Other than that, I also have some Tilray calls. That's just a way of playing the Tilray earnings tonight. I think that there's some a decent amount of excitement going into it, but please understand that it is pretty much a flip of a coin. Either they'll beat expectations or they won't. Either this will go very high or it's going to plummet on me. The chance of it going sideways is pretty minimal. And just so you know, I'm also invested in some crypto still. These are all my stocks. I really haven't changed any of those. I still have Doge, I still have Ethereum, and in my own account, I have more Ethereum and more Bitcoin. I'm definitely a long-term bull on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And in terms of Doge, I'm just riding the momentary wave to see if I can lock in some nice profits on it. Now let's go back to RIOT. An absolutely amazing day. RIOT trades under the ticker RIOT. Today gained 31%. It's trading at $77.90. And in 2021 alone, it's up an incredible 361%. In fact, ever since this technical breakdown in early February, RIOT is already up 185%. It's very much riding the hype wave of Bitcoin. Today, it hit a new all-time high. So from a technical perspective, to map out the key levels of resistance above, we're very much going to have to let the chart develop in this area to let price discovery play itself out so we can better understand the levels of supply and demand. But from a human psychological standpoint, I would highly recommend paying attention to the nice level of $100. I think it's very realistic that RIOT could hit that sooner than later, but obviously we'll have to let that play out. To get a better idea of what RIOT might do over the next few days, here's a look at its 30-minute chart. Basically, from February 9th up until today, it was following these white trend lines, which is also referred to as a microphone. I was surprised to see that it broke out on the top side of it today. That's very bullish. Other than that, on the screen, we have these yellow lines, which are just levels of previous support and resistance. When I say that, I just mean price levels that the stock has bounced off of or been rejected by. And on the bottom, we have the RSI. This is very important for RIOT right now. RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. And it basically maps out bullish momentum against bearish momentum. When it gets very high, that's a lot of bullish momentum. And when it gets very low, that's a lot of bearish momentum. A lot of day traders, swing traders, investors like to use this technical indicator for reversion plays. As in when it gets very high, they look to take profits or short sell or do something like that. And when it gets very low, they look to create a position and ride it long. Basically, they think of it as a pendulum just going back and forth. Too much bullishness leads to bearishness and then vice versa. What I wanted to bring to your attention here is clearly from February 9th up until now, RIOT has gone higher. In fact, it was trading at $40. Now it's trading at $81.50 in post-market. But if you take a look at the RSI, it's actually gone lower. This is referred to as bearish divergence, and it's commonly a sign that the stock needs to sell off a bit to consolidate, and basically it just wants the RSI a chance to cool off. Now, remember, please, that no technical indicator is ever perfect. There's always counterexamples to any rules or anything like that. So even though I'm saying, hey, there is a bit of bearishness in the charts, obviously, I'm still feeling pretty good about the crypto wave. That's why I have call options on RIOT. I think that they could go higher and higher. I mean, right now, as I'm filming this, it's at 82. I mean, people are very excited about crypto. So please keep that in mind. Sometimes when you have strong outside fundamental developments, it can end up throwing your technicals out of the window. I just wanted to map out the current technical situation, at least for the 30-minute chart on RIOT. But the main thing that is driving it is Bitcoin. Just so you can see here, Bitcoin today did hit a new all-time high above $52,000 per coin. On a daily perspective, we have a nice breakout of this wedge that was formed also in early February, very, very correlated to the run-up in RIOT, just so you know. If it can't hold this key psychological level at 50,000, I would then recommend paying attention to 44,000, and past that we have 42,000. But just to clarify, it's really not showing any signs of slowing down. But once again, in the RSI, we've seen that same bearish divergence from 42,000 up to 52,000. Clearly, Bitcoin has gained $10,000 in value per coin, but the RSI is not following suit. The rallies like this don't really last forever. Usually they have to take a breather, form a new level of support, and then bounce from there. I just want you to know how I'm looking at the current situation. In terms of its 30-minute chart, here's a look at Bitcoin. I really, really liked how it broke outside of this wedge. It's actually what prompted me to buy those call options on RIOT. A huge amount of bearish or bullish strength here, and I'm looking for a continuation. And if it can do that, at least on the 30-minute time frame, we won't have the bearish divergence in the RSI. But once again, we need a nice follow through of strength. The other one that I'm heavily invested in that I think has a lot of potential in the future is Ethereum. Ethereum's a bit different. It didn't make a new all-time high today. It made that back on February 13th. It was just under 19,000. Here's the current technical situation. We're in this wedge. Here are your levels of support and resistance. But my overall comment on Ethereum, it's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before it hits $2,000 a coin. I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. And in the meantime, I'll be looking to buy more off any bounces on this bottom trend line. Here's a look at Ethereum's 30-minute chart. Same thing, continually getting rejected at 1840. Rejection, 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 rejection. Obviously, there's a lot of supply at that level, so I'm looking for a breakout above that. From there, most likely will lead up to a test of the current all-time high of 1,874. And then from there, I mean, there could be new resistance popping up wherever. But for me, I'm going to be paying attention to that human key psychological level of $2,000 per coin. Of course, it could get rejected a bit earlier, maybe at this white trend line, worthwhile to pay attention to. And now let's turn things over to the main meme lord, Dogecoin. Unfortunately, from February 7th until now, it has been selling off. It's moving in a very, very different pattern from Bitcoin and Ethereum, which I do find to be a bit bothersome, just so you know. From a technical standpoint, I am looking for support to finally be found just below 5 cents a coin. We have the low from here. That was on February 15th. And we also have an equivalent high on January 31st. If it breaks through there, unfortunately, I would say that there's going to be more downside, but we're going to have to let the chart develop. But like I said, I find it a bit weird that it has less relative strength compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Potentially people are just losing interest in it, but keep in mind, Dogecoin can switch just like a flip just like a switch, excuse me. As soon as someone like Elon Musk or another celebrity talks about it, tweets about it, it could send this thing skyrocketing. It's a very, very volatile one. The reason I wanted to bring up this daily chart is this is a better play out of that bearish divergence I was talking about. Bitcoin went from a high on January 29th to a new high on February 7th, but the RSI did not follow suit. And guess what? It was followed then by a bit of consolidation, which then led to a sell-off. So bearish divergence in the RSI is not going to always play out that way, but it is pretty common. And finally, let's just check out Dogecoin on the 30-minute chart. I mean, it's really just been going down, down, down following this trend. So my big suggestion is look for support to be found at this price level of just under 5 cents a coin. And from there, look for a breakout of this trend line. Once we get above this trend line and some nice volume, that would most likely signal a nice change in trend. And we very, very much need that in Dogecoin to go from this bearish push down to a bullish pop upward. Overall, though, just so you know, I am very, very bullish on crypto. I'm bullish on RIOT. I'm specifically excited about RIOT, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. I'm really hoping that the RIOT calls play out well. But overall, in the short term, bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And in the long term, I am very bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you're interested in getting into the world of crypto, check out that link to BlockFi below. And if you're looking to safely secure your crypto coins, you can also check out the second link, which is for Ledger, where you could take all of your crypto offline and just safely secure it. Overall though, if you want to stay up to date with the Moon Gang, whether that's live streams or clips like this, make sure you subscribe, go over to your notifications, turn it to always so you don't miss any of the new content. And remember, thank you for your time and best of luck in the markets.